Shalom. Okay, so now we're explaining more about the Bina. The Bina is the understanding, and it's called a egoz, which is like a walnut with its hard shell. So this egoz, which is the Bina, the understanding, it stands on 6 pillars. So what are these 6 pillars? The 6 corners of the small face of Zeranpin. So that's these sphirot. Chesed, Gvur, Tiferes, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, which is loving kindness, strength, beauty, and compassion. Victory and eternal. Hod is splendor, and Yesod is foundation. So these 6 are like pillars holding up the Bina, the understanding, and they rest on it. And the Bina rests on them. They hold up the Bina with these 6 corners, and therefore they're called samchin, which means something you can rest on. So support. They're supporters because the Bina is resting on them. And even though that these sphirot, they all emanated from Bina, they all emanated from understanding. Even so, the Bina, the understanding, rests on them and rides on them. And these 6 corners, they're hidden and they're rooted inside of this egoz, this nut, this walnut, which is the understanding, because even though that they emanated from it, they like came out of it, they were emanated from it, even so, they didn't ever separate from it, from her. They didn't separate from the Bina. And but how they're actually still connected to her. So it's like they came out, but they're still connected. So now we're going to teach a little bit more about the Chachma. The Chachma is the wisdom. And so, we say that from the wisdom, the Malchut, which is the kingdom, it emanated from the Chachma. It emanated from the wisdom. Now, we see it's like a long distance, right? There's all this between them. So you'd figure it would come last, right? And not right away straight out of the wisdom. But this Malchut, this kingdom, is called Malchut Shlomo or Malchut Shlema. That means a complete kingdom, or King Solomon was Shlomo, right? So his kingdom, right? Now, so we have it's this Malchut is Chochmat Shlomo. So we have the wisdom of Solomon, right? We know this King Solomon was the wisest person in the world. So his wisdom is called the wisdom of Solomon, which is also has the same meaning as Shlomo, and Shlema is the same word, which can mean Shlomo, the King Solomon, or it could be complete. Complete, so like a complete wisdom, because he had the most wisdom of any other person in the world. Okay, so we have this kingdom, and it's called the wisdom of Shlomo because we have the Chachma, which is the wisdom, and we have the Malchut, which is kingdom. And this is a secret of Magid Mereshit Achrit, you tell, you say, from the beginning to the end. Okay, so that's a verse in the Torah, and what it means to say is that the end result, you're already saying it in the beginning. You like from the beginning of the first saying, the first thought, the first idea, you're already thinking about the end result, and you're already making the end result happen. So that's how we have this malchut coming from the chachma, and that's wisdom. And that's what it says, from within the hiddenness of the letter Yud of Chachma, because like we said, Chachma, wisdom, has the letter Yud, the 10th letter of the Aleph Bet. That's its corresponding letter. So out of that comes the chariot, a holy chariot, which is the Malchut. So we have the Malchut, which is a kingdom, comes out. It's a chariot that comes out of the wisdom. And this chariot is hidden, and it's not revealed to give forth the influx of energy downwards. So this Merkava, this chariot that comes from the Malchut, is not actually spreading, it's not revealing, it's not revealed from, you can't see it from below, and it's not emanating or giving out any of its energy. So he says, only when does it shine its light out? Only when the Bina, right, this like walnut, this egos, when it shines its light, and it doesn't shine its light directly to the Malchut, it shines it through all of these spherotes of the Zerampin. So the Bina has its light come down, shines it through all the Sphirot of Zerampin, of the small face, comes and shines onto Malchut. Then this Malchut, this kingdom, shines. Because the Malchut, this kingdom, it doesn't have its own light from itself. It only can shine the light that it receives from Bina, from understanding, and then it could. And when the Bina shines it from its face down to the Malchut, to the kingdom, so then the kingdom can shine its light downward to everything below it. And then when it receives its light from Bina, from understanding, and then it's revealed, and you can see this chariot, and it can give its flow of influx of energy downwards. So therefore, this chariot of the kingdom is hidden when it doesn't have anybody to give anything, any energy to, and it's revealed when it has influx of energy, of light, and then it can shine down towards that light downwards. And the kingdom, it goes out and it's emanated from the Chachma, from the wisdom, at the time when there's a spark of the light, which is the light of the strength of in the mother. Mother is Bina, is understanding. When it's measuring its measurements, that means the Bina, right? This understanding needs to send out the light, but it needs to know how much to send. Who needs to get the right type of light, the right amount. So that's Gvura. That's Gvura's measurements. Gvura's strength. You're not just giving out free for all, it's measuring. So you have the strength inside the Bina, it's measuring out the right amounts. And then it can go downwards, right? Okay, that means that when the botzina, when the botzina is like the lamp, the lantern, which is, right? We're talking about botzina is usually, we're talking about the bina, the lamp. When it goes out to measure all the worlds and to give each partsuf, each constellation, like Zeranpin, all these constellations, to give it the light and the influx of energy, that the right amount that it can bear. Because if you put too much electricity, right, through a resistor, or through a wire, it can't hold it. It could like burn the circuit, right? So it, all these worlds, all the world that we're in, if we get too much spiritual energy just coming down, it'll just be too much. We wouldn't be able to bear it. So this is what we're talking about when we're talking about the strength and the understanding, which is measuring out the right amount that we can take, the most that we can receive, that is beneficial for us. So it's the same with the higher worlds and the lower worlds. They all need to get the right amount of light. So then, when that happens, so the Malchut, which is the kingdom, it's emanated and fixed from the Chachma, from the wisdom. Right? That happens, and then it receives the light that the Bina is measuring down, and then it's revealed, and it could reveal its light. And this Betsina, this lamp, or this lantern, this flashlight, right? It's the secret of the strength of Atik. Atik is ancient. So ancient, that's also like one of the parts, Sufim, one of the constellations is Atik. And it's enclosed in the mind, the hidden mind of Arich Anpin, of the long or tall face. So here we have like the Arich Anpin, the tall or long face. And the Atik, the ancient, is dressed up in the mind of it. Okay? And from there, we draw the strength of the Botsina, which is this lamp, this lantern, which is in the center, in the stomach of Bina, of understanding. And then it measures the amounts of light that is fitting for every sphera and sphera. And we're going to be explaining this also later on some more.